Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. We are at the famous Garden Tomb here in Jerusalem. It's a rainy day today. But before we get started, let me ask you a question. Did Jesus rise from the dead? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And without further ado, let's begin our episode. So we all grew up hearing stories about Jesus Christ and how he rose from the dead after being crucified by the Romans. In fact, many Christians believe that Jesus rose from the dead physically. So then where is his physical body now? You may have heard that this garden tomb is where Jesus was buried. But did you know that there are over 30 other tombs here in this garden? Was Jesus really buried here? In this video, I will tell you the story of the garden tomb and the church that surrounds it. And I'll also tell you why some people believe that Jesus was not buried here. If you want to find out the truth about what happened to Jesus' body after he died, keep watching this video till the end. I promise you won't regret it. So let's get right into it. Before we talk about the garden tomb, we must first go back to the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, the four evangelists, tell us the story of Jesus' death. According to the Bible, when Jesus died, Joseph of Arimathea asked Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, for Jesus' body. After receiving permission, he took down Jesus' body from the cross. Nicodemus, one of Jesus' disciples, helped him carry the body. They wrapped Jesus' body in a linen cloth with spices and placed him in a tomb that was carved out of stone. A large stone was rolled in front of the entrance to the tomb. Now, according to the Bible, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were sitting near the tomb the next morning when an earthquake suddenly occurred. An angel of the Lord came down from heaven and rolled the stone away. The angel told the women, "Don't be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come, see the place where he lay." So the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell his disciples that the Lord had risen and had appeared to them. Matthew chapter 28, verses 1 to 7. After the women left the tomb, two men dressed as guards approached them. They asked the women, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, but has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you, that the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and that he would rise on the third day. Therefore, go and tell his disciples, and I am the Lord." Matthew chapter 28, verses 8 to 10. However, when the disciples heard this, they didn't believe it. Then Jesus himself appeared to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 to 20. This is the story of Jesus' death and resurrection, as written in the New Testament. However, there are some who believe that this story is just a myth, and that Jesus never rose from the dead. Instead, his body was buried here in this tomb. Today, we will visit the site where this burial supposedly took place. If you look around you, you will see that we are inside a small chapel surrounded by trees and flowers. This chapel is called the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and it is believed that this is the place where Jesus was crucified and buried. Many Christians come here every year to pay their respects to Jesus. But wait a second. You may have noticed something strange about this chapel. There is no actual tomb here. Now, you might be thinking that this is a hoax, but it's not. The reason why there is no tomb here is because archaeologists discovered the Talmudic ossuary while excavating the site in 1883. They found the remains of at least 10 individuals in this ossuary. Some of the bones bore inscriptions in ancient Hebrew. One inscription read, "Joseph, son of Caiaphas," which led archaeologists to believe that this was the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, the man who took Jesus' body down from the cross. But hold on. You may be thinking that this is still not proof that Jesus was buried here, and you are absolutely right. The fact that archaeologists discovered human remains in this tomb does not prove that Jesus was buried here. It could simply mean that the Gospels are wrong and that Jesus' body was indeed buried here. Now, you may be wondering why so many Christians believe that Jesus was buried here. Well, it all has to do with a series of events that took place in the early 1900s. Two archaeologists named William Ramsey and Charles Warren were excavating the site of the church. They uncovered a series of tunnels that led to a small cave. Inside the cave, they found a Talmudic ossuary, and when they opened it, they found a bone inside. This bone was unlike any other bone they had ever seen. It was perfectly smooth, as if it had been polished by hand. Ramsay and Warren believed that this bone belonged to Jesus himself. They based their belief on the fact that the bone was found in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea. However, this theory was later disproven when it was discovered that the bone actually belonged to a donkey. Nevertheless, the legend of the Garden Tomb persisted and continues to this day. Today, thousands of pilgrims come to visit the Garden Tomb every year. They believe that this is the place where Jesus was crucified and buried. However, there is no evidence to support this claim. In fact, the only reason why the Garden Tomb became popular is because of a series of coincidences. You see, in 1923, a local resident named Yusuf al-Ghazali began leading tourists to the Garden Tomb. He claimed that the site was the biblical Garden Tomb. Of course, there was no proof of this, but people were willing to believe him anyway. Word of mouth spread like wildfire, and soon the Garden Tomb was on the map. But hold on. You may be thinking that if the Garden Tomb is just a legend, then what happened to Jesus' body? Where is it now? Well, nobody knows. That's right. Nobody knows what happened to Jesus' body after he died. Some people believe that it was lost forever, while others believe that it is hidden somewhere in the church. What do you think? What happened to Jesus' body after he died? Let us know in the comments below. As we wrap up this episode, I want to share something personal with you. When I visited the Garden Tomb, I couldn't help but feel a sense of peace and tranquility. Maybe it was the beautiful scenery, or the fact that so many people believe that this is where Jesus was buried. Whatever it was, I felt a sense of calm wash over me as I stood in the chapel. It made me think about all the suffering Jesus went through for us. He was crucified and put in a tomb, but he rose again on the third day. For me, that is a message of hope. No matter how difficult things may seem, no matter how much pain and suffering you may be going through, just remember that Jesus rose from the dead, and with him, you can also overcome your struggles. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed the story of the Garden Tomb. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications so that you never miss an upload. We would love to have you join our community of biblical history enthusiasts. So what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and get ready for more amazing episodes. Oh, and don't forget to comment below with your thoughts, questions, or suggestions. We love reading your comments and responding to them whenever we can. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, may the spirit of adventure and discovery be with you always. And remember, the greatest adventure of all is the journey of faith.